My dear friends, welcome to Rajashekar classes on ethical hacking. This is lecture number 43. In this lecture, we will try to understand port scanning. Port scanning is an example of active reconnaissance. Port scanning is the process of scanning computer ports to identify open ports of a computer. Since the entire information is going in and out of the system through these ports, using port scanning, attackers determine what services are visible and when an attack can be performed. As a part of port scanning, data is retrieved from open ports and analyzed. So the scanning can be used to detect the live hosts in a network. Port scanning identifies all TCP port numbers and try to identify which port numbers are open and which are not open. Suppose if you do ping to an IP address and see that if there is a response coming back, then you will be knowing that host is active now. But if nothing is coming back, then we know it is not active. As we are discussing, you can identify open ports. If you do a port scanning, you can identify all available open ports. We can identify the services that are running on some particular port, because as we know that every port has an associated application. That is what I mean by service. So each application has some very unique signature. Some of them you can identify. So if you are able to identify, it will be great help to you, so you can possibly try to break into the application. What is the operating system of the target mission, and depending on whatever you have got or identified, what are the known vulnerabilities, because there is a list of vulnerabilities or known vulnerabilities with respect to all kinds of systems that is available already, and the tools that you use for this kind of scanning. We can use tools like NMAP, GenMap, Nessus and Nexpose for port scanning. NMAP, it is freely available tool. So this is a free open source tool where you can do vulnerability scanning, and then you can identify some network that is called network discovery. On command prompt, we can type nmap, and there are many scan types, and what kind of scan you want to make, you have to give scan types, and there is again options. You can specify certain options, and you specify that which host or which network you want to scan. This is the general format. We will try to understand this particular NMAP in detail manner. This I can say general format: NMAP, scan types, options, host or network name. I will discuss in detail manner about this particular format in my future classes. We will try to understand the main features of NMAP. Host discovery, we try to find out which hosts are active or alive. Port scanning means which ports are currently open. What does open means what services are running. Port open means something is running attached to that port. Service and version detection, which version of service is running. For example, if it is mail server, which version of the mail server is running. And of course, operating system detection is very important, because every operating system has its unique vulnerabilities. So if you know the operating system, it is you will be knowing what to do. When you are doing host discover in Nmap, you can query multiple hosts at a time, which is possible. You will be learning about these things if you get reply, if you get, let me say like this, when you are doing host discover in Nmap, you can query multiple hosts at a time, which is possible. You will be learning about these things if you get reply back. You will be knowing that host is alive. You are actually doing something called ping sweep operation, whereas other techniques are also available to do the same thing. These are called ICMP sweep, broadcast ICMP, non-echo ICMP, TCP sweep, and UDP sweep. I will discuss all these techniques in detailed manner in my future lectures. Thank you very much.